Hello, hello, testing, testing, testing. All right. Welcome, guys. We're gonna start a new playthrough. I didn't know if I was gonna be ready to record this yet, but I just been having that itch to play this game. So, also, I hope my audio is okay. I've been having trouble with my audio lately, so I have kind of like a weird setup going on right now. But I was doing some testing earlier, and it sounds okay. So. Let me just make sure I got everything. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. Yeah, so we're gonna play Pokemon Emerald. This is gonna be the first episode, which is just gonna be the intro. I don't know how much talking I want to do yet. I guess I'll figure that part out. But let's get started. Hold on one second, guys. There we go. My controller wasn't working, but we're good to go, I think. All right. Yeah, let's be a boy. Yeah, so we start this game off in the back of a moving truck, basically. pretty funny. Okay. Real quick, I guess this is the third iteration of Pokemon games, Generation 3. This is my personal favorite generation. I spent so many hours on Pokemon Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald. Um, I chose to do this one first because it's the one that I know the most. So I'm hoping that that means it's going to be the easiest to try to complete. Excuse me. And that does take me to my next point. So I do want to try to make this like 100% walkthrough. Um, I don't know how difficult that'll be, but I think if I'm gonna play through this game again, I need it to have like some kind of challenge, you know? So I thought, 100% walkthrough, that sounds kind of fun. I've never done that before. Um, I'm also gonna try to catch like all the Pokemon that are obtainable in the game. All the ones that I can, I'm gonna use a save editor just to kind of edit in and get the Pokedex entries. I don't have like the ability to trade and do everything like, the OG way. I wish I did, but it's very expensive to get all the hardware that you need. Completing this Pokedex the OG way is very expensive. So here we are. We're still gonna have some fun. I don't, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with using like save editors for this specific reason. I'm just trying to complete the Pokedex really. So that's it for right now. I think I just wanted to explain why I chose this game and what my goals are. Again, I do want to catch all the Pokemon. If you guys can see here are my notes. I kind of have like my rule set right here. Capture all obtainable Pokemon, collect all gym badges, beat the Elite Four, and then I have like my little progress. I guess like my notes, just to kind of help me keep track of like which Pokemon I still need to get. And I don't know if we're gonna do some Battle Frontier stuff. That may be like a separate series. Um, but yes, I do want to get some gold medals as well. But for right now, I think we have enough on our plate, being as we need to do all these things, or we need to get all these things. There's a lot of Pokemon in this game, especially in the Safari Zone by itself. But okay, let's continue. We're in the back of a moving truck. We just moved to a little town called Little Root Town. That's so funny. I always thought this was like really cool that um and like Ruby, Sapphire, I think they had Machoke's doing this, but then in Emerald they switched it to a Vigoroth. And usually when you talk to a Pokemon, it'll have like the name and then whatever it says, right? But this time around, like it's keeping the Pokemon a mystery. Like pretend you're a new player, right? Which a lot of you may be, maybe you're not. But you don't know what this thing is. You don't know the name of it. It's so funny. But yeah, we're supposed to go in here and set our clock. She kind of hints at the notebook on our desk. So like if we follow her hint, we go over here, just interact with it. So it's kind of like showing us how to save the game, really. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. Now another thing, I'm sure a lot of you guys know in like a lot of Pokemon games nowadays, but you can always go into your PC and you get a free potion. You're also able to like deposit items too, like sometimes I deposit like rare candies or high value items, because you do run out of space in your bag, so this is a way to kind of store your items. Alright, that's pretty much all that we can do in our room. And then our mom kind of wants us to go next door and talk to our neighbors. You can see right here, it says our house. And then this says Professor Birch's house. So I never knew this as a kid. Like when I played these games, I thought Professor Birch lived in his lab for some reason. But no, he lives up here. And then his lab is literally down here. So Professor Birch's lab. So he's always in his lab, you know, like every other professor. And then I love clicking on these little signs here. A town that can't be shaded any hue. They have interesting little texts about the towns and stuff. So now we go upstairs. Interact with the Pokeball. Yeah, so she's a character for sure. She's just kind of like this game's rival. She's the person that you battle like continuously throughout your journey. She's also the professor's daughter. And she kind of like wants to follow in his footsteps and be a professor more than a trainer, rather. So now that we've talked to the mom and May, this person lets us go through now. Because before, if you try to go through this way, this person kind of blocks you and like says you shouldn't go that way, you don't have a Pokemon. Now that we've talked to May, it kind of like unlocks this area for us, and so let's see what's going on. So we're gonna save. Yeah, I'm just like used to saving here because this is kind of where you save if you want to hunt for a certain nature or hunt for a shiny starter. But basically, this is a satchel. We're supposed to go in here. And a funny thing that I wanted to mention is that I think there's this guide that I'm following, and in the guide it doesn't call it a backpack, it calls it a knapsack. So I guess whatever that is, it's a knapsack. I haven't heard that word in a while. But yeah, so in his knapsack there's 3 Pokeballs. Basically, it's like our starter. I think this is one of my favorite ways that Game Freak has like introduced starters to us. I thought this was a clever little way because before this, all it was is you go into the lab and like you choose your Pokemon, you know? Versus here, you kind of feel rushed a little bit. You're like, oh my god, I'm helping this guy out. Alright, I gotta help this guy out. And so you get to choose your 3 between these 3, basically. And we are gonna have access to all 3, but I think the one that I want to use throughout my playthrough is gonna be this guy right here. Okay, looks like we got a male Torchic. And it's got a jolly nature. Interesting. So I think if I remember correctly, Jolly boosts speed, which is pretty good, not gonna lie. But I think it also decreases either special attack or attack, I forgot. Okay, so we're battling against a Zigzagoon. We have 2 options here. One's an attacking move and one's a status afflict move. I like to hit a couple growls before I start to attack. I think even just 1 growl before you start hitting scratch is a good little tactic to have. Of course, like, you know, when you're a kid, you just scratch away. But, you know, you can battle however you want to battle. This is a judgment-free zone, so 17 XP points. Yeah, I guess we can nickname our Pokemon, right? That'd be a cool thing to do. But yeah, basically he gives you the Pokemon, of course. Like, surprise. We kind of knew he was going to. He says he thinks we'd be a good trainer. And then he wants us to, like, go meet up with his daughter, to go kind of test our skills as a trainer. So we'll hit yes. So now from here, we basically have to go to Route 3. Professor Birch kind of tells you, but if you're just smashing away at the buttons, like, you'll miss it, and you won't know what to do or where to go. And when I was a kid, that's exactly what happened. I smashed through the dialogue and everything. I didn't know where to go. And I'll show you guys later on, but you basically get stuck. There's no way to advance until you go to speak to May. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to Route 3. So Route 101, this is the first route where we can encounter Pokemon. If you want to catch Pokemon, you have to go into the tall grass and search. So yeah, so these guys are just giving us basic information. I think there's 3 Pokemon that we can encounter on this route. Poochyena is one of them. And we actually can't catch anything yet. So for right now, we're just gonna battle for XP, basically. Another thing that I didn't know as a kid is that Poochyena gives you attack EVs. So what that means is like basically the more Poochyenas you take down, the more your attack stat is boosted. Every Pokemon kind of has a special EV assigned to it, like an EV yield. So for example, I just took down a Poochyena, right? So Poochyena has an EV yield of, I think, 1 attack. So by me taking down a Poochyena, I'm given 1 attack EV. Now if I'm able to get 4 of those, I increase my attack stat by 1. So that's kind of like a basic way to keep track of how much EVs you have on your Pokemon. But that's like, the only time that really matters this early is like if you're trying to do some kind of speed run, or you're really trying to boost a Pokemon stat for like a gym leader or something. For right now, we really don't have to worry about what Pokemon we take down, because this is just like a walkthrough, so we're just not gonna worry about the EVs yet. This guy lets us know that there's a Pokemon Center in Oldale Town that's close by. So he kind of hints at it. And here we are, Oldale Town. Speak to this guy, he's a merchant. He works over at the Pokemart, and he gives you a potion, basically. And hey, a free potion is a free potion, so make sure you get it. Let's go ahead and, why not, we'll go into the Pokemart. We have 3,000 whatever currency that is, so I wonder if we can, I've never bought any items this early, so let's see. I think for right now we're gonna hold off actually. So yeah, this is Oldale Town, where things start off scarce. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now this is Route 103. This introduces a new Pokemon, which is right in front of us. Wingull. It's like a water flying type seagull thing. But right now we don't need to capture it, so we're not gonna worry about it. There she is. What I like to do here is I like to at least level like my Pokemon up by 1. That way when we battle May, it's not so difficult. You could battle her at level 5, but it's kind of like a 50-50 really. All right. Okay, so she has a Mudkip. Of course, you know, your rival always gets the Pokemon that has the advantage against yours. So water beats fire. Luckily though, this Mudkip doesn't know Water Gun or Mud Slap or anything like that. And we're level 6, so we should be fine here. The only way we lose is if we get crit. Okay. Alright, and now after we win against May, we go back to the Pokemon Lab. So let me show you guys where I got stuck as a kid. Right here, this guy, he like doesn't let you go this way until you beat May and you go all the way back to Professor Birch. And as a kid, like I was stuck in Oldale Town basically for like a month straight, moving around trying to get through. And it's all because I didn't read the texts. I would just spam A and try to figure it out myself. Okay, and then we're given our first set of Pokeballs. Alright, and basically at this point, we can talk to our mother, or she talks to us rather. We show her our Pokemon. She says we're our father's child. And then she gives us our running shoes. So if I'm not mistaken, I think running shoes were actually introduced in this generation, which is really cool. And then we say goodbye to our mom, and basically now at this point, it's at this point where now basically the world opens up to us. For us, for our goals, we need to catch a lot of Pokemon, so I'm thinking we go to Oldale Town first. Maybe buy, like, you know, more Pokeballs. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that first, and then we'll come back to this route. Oh, we have running shoes, that's right. All right, and so when buying Pokeballs, if you buy 10 of them, like if you buy 10 in one go, you're gifted, I think it's a Premier Ball? Yeah. So that's kind of like a cool little secret that the game doesn't really tell you. And it's something that I never knew until like way later. So if you guys didn't know that, now you know. So we bought 10 Pokeballs and we got a bonus Premier Ball, so that's 11. That's, I think, plenty for now. I always like to buy some antidotes too. Something like 3 is good. Alright. So let's go to Route 1. There's a total of 3 Pokemon we can get here. Let's just go through them. Okay, so Wormpole is one of them. Let's go ahead and scratch. I don't think we'll kill. We can scratch again, or else we'll take down the Wormpole, so we're kind of forced to throw a Pokeball here. But what's cool is that the Pokemon that we catch, hopefully they can also help us in catching even more Pokemon. So kind of like the theme for the game is like the more Pokemon you have, the better off you are. But nice, this is our Wormpole entry. It sticks to tree branches and eats leaves. The thread it spits from its mouth, which becomes gooey when it touches air, slows the movement of its foes. That's pretty cool. I think it's talking about String Shot, which is a move that it knows. And it's really cool that it like references the moves. We're not gonna nickname this. Alright, next one is Poochyena. This one to me has always been like a really cool Pokemon. There's a reason that it gives like attack EVs. It has pretty high attack stats. Oops. And it's a dark type, so I think dark types are one of the coolest Pokemon. So, and I think the reason I like this game is because it introduced like a lot of like crazy dark type Pokemon, which we will get to. Alright, Poochyena, Bite Pokemon. It savagely threatens foes with bare fangs. It chases after fleeing targets tenaciously. It turns tail and runs, however, if the foe strikes back. Oh. Am I not able to read the whole thing? That's kind of weird. Oh, it's just the sentence is so weird. It turns tail and runs, however. if the foe strikes back. Okay. So like runs away if they strike back. That's so funny. It chases after fleeing targets tenaciously. They have to be talking about Professor Birch, right? We have one more Pokemon to catch here. And interesting fact. In this route, Route 101, this last Pokemon, it has the lowest encounter rate out of the 3, which is why we haven't seen it yet. In Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby, you do find that certain Pokemon way more often. So like when you're playing Sapphire, for example, you might think like, oh, this is such a common Pokemon. But here in Pokemon Emerald, it's not so common at all. It's actually pretty rare in this route, which is pretty cool. I like that they change, you know, the encounter rates. There it is. The beloved Zigzagoon. I think it's only a 10%. Is it a 10%? Yeah, it's only 10% here on this route. That was close. We almost took this one down. Zigzagoon. What does it say? Tiny raccoon Pokemon. Rubbing its nose against the ground, it always wanders about back and forth in search of something. It is distinguished by the zigzag footprints it leaves. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's all 3 Pokemon for this route. And I guess like a cool thing about Wormhole, which I still don't know for sure, but I think it's a 50-50 between 2 versions of itself that it evolves into. So it's like a bug, right? So it evolves into like a cocoon Pokemon, but there's 2 different types of cocoon Pokemon. And I used to think like if you trained Wormhole at night, you would get one version, and then if you trained Wormhole during the day, you'd get the other. But I think it's just a straight up 50-50, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to test it out, of course, because we do have to capture like all the Pokemon, so. Let's see. Zigzagoon has the ability pickup, which is nice. And it's a lax nature, which is whatever. Poochyena has Runaway, which is also another really good ability, actually. But this one's a jolly nature. I think that boosts speed. It's actually pretty useful. And then we also have a jolly wormpole. That's funny. Okay, well. Yeah, let's just keep these Pokemon for now. Alright, let's capture some more. So if you guys remember back in Route 3, we're missing that that Wingull that we found. There it is. Pretty high encounter rate actually up on this route. Oh, and this one knows Water Gun, which is not the best. I'm pretty sure in Ruby and Sapphire, Wingull has like a lower encounter rate. It feels like in Pokemon Emerald I find Wingulls all the time, but like on Sapphire, it's ever so often that you find one. Alright. You know, they always say like the lower the health, the better chances you have to capture the Pokemon, so. Alright, we caught our Wingull. Seagull Pokemon. It makes its nest on a sheer cliff at the edge of the sea. It has trouble keeping its wings flapping in flight. Instead, it soars on updrafts. Oh, that's pretty funny. Alright, well, that's all the Pokemon we can get in routes 1 and 3. From here we can go to Route 2, now that this guy lets us pass. Actually, let's go talk to him and see what he says real quick. This guy. Okay, she just teaches us probably something we all knew already. The fact that this Pokemon here, where my Torchic is, this slot, whatever this Pokemon is, goes out first. And if you're going into a double battle, it's the first 2 Pokemon, so it'll be Torchic and then Zigzagoon. So I didn't always know that when I was like younger playing this game. I don't know if it like actually tells you either. But these 2 slots here where Torchic is and Zigzagoon, those are the first ones that get sent out, basically. And then I'm pretty sure it's the same for like the rest of the games that have been made. What do these people have to say? Okay, we knew that. Okay. Yeah, these guys just have like basic, you know, hints. Let's continue. Well, that guy has the same goal as us. Another wormpole. I'm gonna go back just to show you guys something real quick before we advance, because it's kind of weird. Because it goes from Route 1, right? It goes from Route 1 to Oldale Town. And then Route 2 is to the left, and Route 3 is over here. Doesn't kind of like make sense, you know? It's like, why wouldn't they do Route 2 over here and then Route 3? Well, this route continues to the east, which is why I think they did it that way. But for right now, like, we can't really traverse this body of water, you know? Like, we don't have the move surf. We don't get it until much later. So for right now, this is just like a ocean. Something for us to, like, you know, see and wonder, huh, what's over there? But we can't go that way yet. So that's why we come back this way. And we also come across like our first pond, a little pond. We don't have any fishing rods yet, so we can't make use of the pond, unfortunately. But wow, we get a low toad for our first encounter. Let me just check something real quick for you guys. Okay, 20% encounter rate. Yeah, I do have like this little thing pulled up too. Kind of tells me the encounter percentages. Low toad, Route 102, 20%. So like I said, not too rare, but there are times where I struggle to find a low toad or low tad. Hopefully this one doesn't know water gun though. Lotad is one of the many grass Pokemon that Generation 3 introduces. One of my favorites, of course. Water Weed Pokemon. This Pokemon lives in ponds with clean water. It is known to ferry small Pokemon across ponds by carrying them on the broadleaf on its head. That's pretty cool. Let's see what else we can encounter. Zigzagoon. And guys, I'm kind of like hopeful, but like delusional hopeful that we'll find like a shiny Pokemon throughout this whole playthrough. Just because you'd think like, wow, we're gonna be searching a lot of Pokemon, right? We're gonna be searching for a lot of Pokemon. So our chances to find one shiny, it's gotta be high. But not in Pokemon Emerald. I think the RNG here in this game is just like too weird, too random. The RNG in this game just confuses me way too much. I try not to even think about it sometimes. It starts a different seed every time you launch the game. Like, you can't shiny hunt like efficiently. You have to know like what you're doing if you're gonna shiny hunt in this game. Okay, there's a lot more Pokemon we can encounter, and all we're seeing is Zigzagoon. Let's go ahead and try a different patch. Oh, this is gonna be our first battle here. Let's see. we'll just go ahead and battle this guy. Okay, this Puchan, I think he's about to sweep us, actually. Why is it just like maxing its attack stat? That's crazy. What? Let's see. No, I thought that was water gun. Youngster Calvin, you almost had me. Okay, let's go back to the PC real quick. Once we get like any kind of rock type Pokemon, we'll be able to defend like against that kind of stuff a little bit better. There's just like a lot of Pokemon that like to boost their attack. But having like a rock type Pokemon kind of like negates a lot of those moves. Just because rock type like resists normal moves, and there's like a lot of like trash normal moves, if that makes sense. But let's see if we can get more encounters. Let me see something. Wow, 1% C-Dot on Route 102? That's pretty crazy. Routes 4%. Okay, so we're more likely to see a routes than we do a C-Dot. A Surskit, okay, so Surskit's one of those Pokemon where we're not going to be able to get no matter what we do. We have to, you would have to trade it in from Ruby or Sapphire. So we're just going to edit in a Surskit after the episode. I'm looking for one particular Pokemon. Looking for Meryl. Interesting. Okay. So I guess you can't find a Meryl until Route 104. You have a 20% encounter rate there. That's the earliest that we can encounter it. I used to think that you can find one in Route 102 in the grass, but I guess not. Okay, okay. So now we're looking for either a C dot or routes. Okay. Good to know. We're looking for 3% routes or 1% C dots. Also, guys, like another, I guess interesting fact is that, like the items in the Pokemon, they'll be like the same price that they are here. Like let's say then in the last town that you ever visit in this region. So you don't really have to worry about the items increasing in price. You just have to worry about like better items costing more. But for example, like a Pokeball is always going to be like 200 coins or whatever it is. Like no matter what, like no matter where you are, which is good. Because we're going to be buying a lot of Pokeballs, I feel like. I want to like take advantage of the other Pokeballs too, like the Quick Balls, Dive, Net Balls. Yeah, I think it's been a good episode so far. I mean, we got through the intro. That takes quite a while, I feel like. I didn't want to skip anything either, you know. I kind of wanted to explain too a little bit about the game. Because I don't know who knows this game or not, like, you know. There's people who might not know this game at all. Also, like, one thing that I found out the other day is that this game, I don't think was, like, released in Korea or something like that. So there's not like a big population in Korea that even know this game exists, which is crazy. That's pretty crazy. This is like literally my favorite game ever. And like the fact that they didn't know it even existed. So yeah, this first episode is gonna be a little bit like longer and not a whole lot is gonna be done, but it's gonna get us started. Yeah, we're just gonna I have to get like the hang of, you know, get into the flow of things. Alright, so I'm gonna at least try to get the routes this episode. Because that at least is a 3% encounter, you know? Let's avoid that guy. I'll pick up these orange berries, actually. Two pekka berries. These may be like the first berries that we have access to, which is pretty cool. The orange berries are a nice little secret. Because they're so early in the game, you like pick them up. You could put them on like your starter Pokemon. And it kind of lets you challenge the first gym a little bit earlier than you normally could. So like if you're trying to speed run the game or something like that, you can pick these up, put them on your Pokemon, and they restore health, I guess, mid battle. So this patch of grass, or this area of grass, is where I have most of my luck finding routes. We'll see if that luck translates in this run, or to this run. And yeah, I think if we can find routes, that'll be a good start, I guess, for the first episode. Hopefully as we go on, as the episodes go on, I'm able to catch the Pokemon like a little bit faster. Like I said, once I'm able to get into the flow of things. But you know, also like I also don't want to rush it. A lot of the times, like I played through this game and I rush the beginning part of it. I always rush the beginning part. I would say the beginning is like the first gym, the second gym, first and second gyms. Wait, that's wrong. That's wrong. Let me fix that one. Okay. Yeah, that is wild that C-Dot is a 1%. Yeah, having Runaway on Poochyena is really useful. A lot of the Pokemon that are like slightly higher level than you will prevent you from running away. But having the ability to just run away from anything is really useful, for sure. But wow, we're just not getting that lucky, I guess. I don't know. Oh, come on. Alright, I'm giving myself like 5 more minutes. Just because I've been filming for a good while now, and I do want to keep my my episodes under like an hour-ish. So I mean it's fine if I go like a little bit over, but I just want to capture routes or something. Yeah, these two Pokemon are definitely like the hardest to find um, at the very beginning. Like I would say these two Pokemon, C Dot and Routes. I would say they're like the final bosses of like wild Pokemon here. In terms of like encounter rates. Yeah, I thought I liked this better, but I think I'm gonna go back to having that right there. I'll just fix that later. But yeah guys, I'm probably gonna do like a little bit of leveling off screen, just so that by the time I start my next episode, we're kind of like ready to hit the ground running. I want to like advance and just have like certain things ready before we go to like the next gym leader and stuff like that. And I can imagine like I'm probably gonna have to tweak my team as I go. So that's... Oh, finally! Okay, so this is Relts. He takes a while to find. I don't think he runs away or anything like that. He might have Synchronize, so like if you poison it, paralyze it, it's gonna give it right back to you, I think. But let's take a look right here. Routes is actually... This is so exciting. This is like my favorite part about hunting for Pokemon, I guess. Where are you, Routes? Routes. So this guy's actually a 4%? I don't believe that. Anyways, yeah, 4% encounter rate for this guy. As you can see here, C dot Route 102, 1%. The dreaded 1% encounter rate. Let's capture this real quick though. I do want to tackle. Jeez, I don't want to, but I'm going to. Yes, growl me. Growl is actually good because it just lets me hit it a lot more times. But this thing's actually pretty bulky, so we might actually have to switch. Oh, there it is. Okay, see? It's those critical hits that are gonna... Those are gonna kill me. Because I swear, you only get critical hits when you don't want them. It's the most annoying thing ever. We are gonna tackle, I guess, like one more time. And we'll just cross our fingers that we don't crit. Oh my. Alright, I think we're gonna end it right there, guys. That was episode 1. Like I said, we didn't accomplish a whole lot, but in the next episode, we're gonna get a lot more done. Like I said, the intro kind of took a little while to get through. I did want to explain a little bit about the game, but yeah, I'll be filming episode 2 sometime along the next couple days. I really am filming this as I go, so I don't have like a set schedule basically. But that was fun. That was like a good fun little like hour and 20 minutes. I don't know how much we've cut. Let me see. That was so dumb. Whatever. So we've seen 8 and we own 6. We would have caught 7. I want this to actually match the game. So we would have owned 7, but it's whatever. Okay, that's it, guys. I'm out. Peace. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe. I'm uploading a lot more shorts too, so go check out the shorts. They're just like funky little shorts about Pokemon. But anyways, love you guys. Peace out.